All right, folks, we're back, and in this episode, we're talking about the first cheap wins most builders miss. And by builders, I mean you, the client of somebody like Calvin. And this is things that post-launch, your product is made at the factory, and perhaps you have some underwhelming sales. Maybe you feel like you missed the mark a little bit. I would think that some people are going to be like, I totally got it wrong. Maybe we need to redo the tool and go through that full process again. I don't think that's necessarily the case. A couple of things. We've gone through multiple launches under our brand of not only injection molded trays, but different variants of hoop houses and other accessories for the farm kind of thing. And I see a couple things happening quite a lot. We will design something based off of what customers tell us they want, right? Because they know, right? Much recently, we have a much smaller hoop house designed for a backyard grower. Very, very low price point, specifically designed in a way that gives people the commercial pipe that our other greenhouses are made of, but bundled up in a way to really maximize the cost savings because it's so smaller. You don't need all this extra bracing and accessories. So we gave that to them. The person on our product development team was a little disappointed that we didn't sell 20 the first couple of days,
sure,
kind of thing. And we have to remind him and ourselves and the whole company involved, because it was a big launch for us. We executed it very well from the product phase to the engineering of it to the fabrication of it in-house. The media had a long tail on it, and we pulled it off really great. It was one of our better launches. But the sales were underwhelming, and we just have to know that this was almost $1,000 item. It was about an $800 item, but by the time you optionize it, it's about $1,000. And we announced it Black Friday. That was our big Black Friday announcement. Again, high demand, great price point for what you get. We were drastically under cost. If you start taking a look, similar size options with other suppliers at a much higher strength point. But it was also, hey, you didn't know this was coming. It's the biggest buyer day. And none of us regret the decision to launch it when we did, because it's getting ready for next season, next spring. And we have all of Christmas to capitalize all that, and going into next spring, which is when people tend to buy hoop houses anyway. And so at least it's out. Our website's building SEO on it, like all that stuff kind of built in. It's Black Friday, busiest shopping day of the year. People already have their budget set, and then we're like, hey,
add another
spend $1,000, kind of thing. But when you come out of the blue and a product is new, a lot of people want to read the reviews and make sure that other people are actually buying this and they're liking it. They don't want to be the test guinea pig kind of thing. Incidentally, we did launch this with 2 influencers. All the sales came from those influencer backlinks. Interesting to note, even though that our company has been around much longer, these influencers have been around, their built-in audience was like, oh, this person that I watch and I trust every single week. Yeah, we know Bootstrap and we know they do good stuff, but we're going to go with the recommendation based off somebody within that lifestyle.
Would you say an influencer is a little bit more intimate relationship anyway?
100%. I mean, and that's the thing on YouTube. It's like, if you're a backyard grower and you're an individual and you're an individual creator, the algorithm is better than what we would be as a company that's just selling stuff.
Right.
I mean, it favors the smaller person. No problem.
Yeah.
But that being said, when we start looking at market trends right now, and that's part of what the marketing team does, is like, how are people buying these days? And it's largely driven by the people that have the most money to spend. Also, these days are reading reviews, getting 3rd, 4th confirmations, largely from YouTube channels that they follow, largely from other social media people that they use, and they're taking a lot longer to make a decision if it's over $100. So all of that stuff confirmed that we launched correctly, we have the right product, we have the right audience out there. It's too early for their budget, and it's certainly too early for their current buying decisions trends.
Right.
Versus during COVID, we sell, hey, grow your own food stuff. Everybody got real scared that there was going to be a shortage. People were buying left and right. They didn't care. They just wanted stuff.
Yeah.
And because we were USA made and we were able to stay in stock, we did great.
With the few that did buy them, I mean, that's still a good net positive.
Oh, 100%. And it's
because you're going to start building that reviews, the reviews and some input from people that have been using them in the field.
well, and here's the other thing. It's like we're a greenhouse company. We make stuff in-house. So it's not like we went out of our way. We didn't have a tool to make. We already
have to buy a ton of inventory.
Don't have to buy a ton of. We already have the inventory because we buy metal as
Right.
raw metal that we then fabricate into.
But
whatever.
it's not some custom.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Now, had we launched a $1,000 injection molded thing, it'd be a little different scenario.
Yeah.
Because that tool, if something injection molding is $1,000, that's a massive tool.
Right.
You know, you're looking at $250,000
Hopefully.
if they get it right the first time.
Yeah.
But it's a much different situation. But the whole point is, instead of us panicking as a company, oh, we didn't sell enough, it all still ties into our original plan of we're setting this up early for spring sales. We just happen to announce it when the most eyes are on. Everybody's opening emails that day.
Yeah.
Our open email rate was far better around Black Friday, so now more people know about it.
Yeah.
So it's more of a longer game type of thing.
Yeah. Oh, and you can't expect to hit a home run out of the gate. I mean, setting the expectation.
I still consider it home run because now more people know of it.
Yeah. But those sales, setting an expectation for those initial sales is, going back to feelings, don't get your feelings hurt if, you don't acknowledge that this product's ready to be sold and then you're out of stock.
And to the whole point of this episode, we're not going back to the drawing board.
Right.
The product is right. It's
fine.
at our test farm. It's still being everything's great. And that's the whole point of this particular talk is, if you have lackluster sales, let's look at some things that you can do. It doesn't feel like a whole lot of extra work because they're small wins, they're cheap wins that you can do.
Yeah.
And just you adjust your marketing, you narrow who you're telling this story to, you narrow your audience for your paid ads, and maybe you do go find a couple of influencers that you can go to and be like, hey, we want to give you this product and maybe pay you a little commission or whatever route you decide to handle your influencers with.
Some free product, whatever it is.
Free product, better commission on the back end link or something like that. And put it out that way versus saying the sky is falling, we need to retool right now. Maybe we should do, we got 4 colors, let's expand it to 20 colors and have more inventory. That's not the thing to do.
No, that's a bad cycle to get into because then you're going to do that every time you have a slow period of just getting some of your product out into the field to real customers, people that believed in it enough to purchase that is a huge win. They don't know you from Adam. If you're a startup, they have no idea who you are. Obviously, you've done enough good marketing to grab some attention, right? I mean, it's not your grandma, buying the product. It's some random person that came across your product online. That's a win. And you're going to start building that rapport. You're going to start getting feedback from these customers, hopefully all positive. You can build it from that.
Do you remember how we launched the USA Made trays the first round?
Yeah, I remember.
So we took, it was 8 to 12, I can't remember the exact number, of different influencers. Again, we make trays for all kinds of different growers, homesteaders, urban farmers, hydroponic people, soil only people, big farms, small farms, like that whole mix. We're unique in that we have about 6 very distinct avatars that we sell to. And so we found a couple of influencers within each one of those. The very first runs of trays, we already had our list. We already had a plan in place, like, hey, we're going to send you these trays.
Directly from...
Do a couple of grow cycles on. And so we did this big coordination. When we announced, we also had another 8 to 12 people announce at the same time. We've been using Bootstrap Farmer for years. Now they're made in the U.S. exclusively, And we let them tell their own story about it, but just help us make the announcement.
Yeah.
And man, that
did great.
It's been great ever since.
Even I spent a lot of time on building some of that material for you. Yeah. I know I only saw a tip of the iceberg. So I think all that being said is, there's so much more than just developing the product. Potentially the marketing and sales is far more important than the product that you're building.
And here's the thing, I could not have done that if we were made overseas because I was at the factory with you. We were able to take footage of that. We also were able to share with those influencers so they could use it because we couldn't fly all 8 of them to the factory. Although in other projects, you and I have brought influencers to the factory to do tours of their own special lines and stuff like that. But I couldn't have gone overseas. I couldn't have spent the days necessary to pull that kind of footage, both for our own archive and on our ongoing media. But for that project in particular,
shipping all of that,
we shipped it from the factory. They got it. They got their stuff before we got our stuff at the warehouse because the first day we packaged it up, wrote their name on it, shipped it out. I couldn't have done that anywhere else.
No. Well, and I don't know if you're allowed to film in a lot of factories overseas.
I don't know. What, I can't even film. We have aluminum that's extruded 90 minutes from here.
Yeah.
And they won't let me film in there. It's neat.
Oh.
Dude, it's so cool to watch this stuff get made.
They do some proprietary stuff, I assume.
There's so many other companies there that it's a liability risk, insurance risk, whatever they made the decision not to let me shoot. I can't get mad at them because
it's their decision to
make. My whole life is asking people for favors.
Yeah.
Hey, can I come do this, that, and the other? I have carte blanche with you. You get it, and you've allowed me to get into some other places, but I have to respect that they don't want me to shoot in their factory.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some other factories. They'll say yes, but don't film these products, or so we got to be cognizant of what's being filmed. And
sometimes we have cameras that we set on moving equipment. Sometimes we run cable cams. I mean, there's a lot of different cameras we use to collect footage. We just have to know when the time is right. And we have to respect the privacy of the workers. I mean, some of these folks don't want their picture made.
Yep, we've ran into that a few times too, haven't we?
Yeah. But getting off topic, but I do like getting off topic a little bit so people get a clear understanding of the volume of stuff that can go into a product launcher, that can go into the day-to-day operations.
You know the saying, be a goldfish? Goldfish has a memory of like 30 seconds or something. So move on. If you don't get the sales you want right away, just move on to the next day and, be better.
And
sell better, be better, market better. And
pay attention. So the sales that you do get, if they were from an unexpected source, if you follow up, let me tell you, if you call somebody that placed an order with you and you're the owner of the company and be, hey, I just want to see how it's going for you. I want to thank you. And be completely, hey, this is my project I've been working on for a couple of years, and you're one of the first people to buy it. I just wanted to thank you. How's it going? And listen to what they say and lean into that. And if they're buying it, and likely they will be for intentions that you didn't anticipate, you better lean into that real hard.
Yeah. Well, it says a lot when you show the passion too. I mean, if you're going the extra mile and making that phone call, it's showing that you're passionate about that product. They're going to open up and spill their guts to you.
And here's the good news.
Good, bad, and ugly.
For 8 episodes, we just told you how expensive everything was going to be and how long it was going to take. This is a phone call that takes 10 minutes.
Yep.
Doesn't cost you a thing.
Nope.
And people are going to be thrilled. Or they're going to be like, I got it, and this thing broke or whatever. And it gives you a chance to win the day. Be like, let me send you another one. I wish I would have known.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do that, and you'd be surprised on how quick they jump on those threads where you see all that negativity, and they're going to be your biggest cheerleader.
The other thing you can do, and this kind of goes back to those reviews that we talked about in the last episode, if somebody gives a bad review and they're actually complaining about something that's not the product, and you empathize with that, it's like, man, I can't believe that UPS was late also. Reach out to us so we can make sure that you're taken care of. I'm sorry this happened, but how's the product? Just knowing that there's actual people on the other end of that 1-star review, and that you're being sincere about, I'm sorry you had this situation, here's the reality of it, whatever. They'll either take down the negative review, go back to a 5-star. Best is they take it down, but super best is now you have somebody for life that's going to be a repeat buyer and will be on your side because you took the time to kind of do it. And again, that's a cheap win because it didn't cost you any money other than a few minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to a little bit to changing how the product is described. This could mean, and we do this constantly, is updating pictures in the listing, updating the copy in the listing, make sure it's fully described, adding different specifications, going through occasionally the questions if your e-commerce site has, people can ask questions. If the same thing keeps coming up, you need to put that in the listing and make an adjustment. This is a living document, and it has to be reviewed and it has to be updated. So making sure that people understand.
So that helps with SEO too, right?
Of course, because it's an active thing that's going on. You don't delete it. You update it. You make sure it's as up to date as possible, because you also get scored on how long something has been up and running and active. Making sure that they fully understand who this is for, what it's for, proper use kind of thing, a link to a video. You don't have to be us and have a full studio, a full farm or anything like that. But you have to put a little effort into something.
Engage.
So the whole point of this episode is to make sure that we're not hitting the panic button and thinking we have to start over from square one. It's reevaluating the current buyers, reevaluating your message, making sure that your website doesn't have any bad links on there, making sure that you're doing everything you can post-production to put your best foot forward kind of thing, and to lean in to who's actually buying your product. And you should not be surprised if that happens. Like if you're making a paintbrush, obviously a painter is going to use it, but you may find that somebody picked it up on the just general house decorating side of things. You just never know.
If it was easy, everybody'd do it. You've heard that before. It's not going to be, don't expect home runs. Little underwhelming sales cycle right out of the gate is fully expected, unless you just did a massive campaign, kind of like what you talked about with your U.S. made, bringing the trays back to the U.S. There was a lot of work done into that.
There was, but if you think about it, we reached out to people we already have a very positive relationship to. We gave them early access to a product.
But you were an existing company.
Right.
I'm talking a brand new company.
It's a lot harder.
You don't have that network. You may try and, try to reach out, but...
You may try, but it's going to come off real spammy.
Yeah.
Because people that have any sway or influence whatsoever, they get 10 of these a day.
Yeah. 9 of them probably don't even exist. The company probably doesn't even exist.
Right.
So. But yeah, shot out of the cannon, like
You're going to be selling stuff out of your trunk at trade shows.
Yeah, and that's great. That's how it starts, man. You just get it in the hands of people. That's all you can do at this point. So don't kill an idea too early.
There's always Amazon sales. That's kind of how we got started, is being on a platform that everybody gets to see. The first 2 years were shipped out of one of the original founders' back porch. It's a true story of coming out of nowhere. Take a pause, reflect on who's buying, make sure that everything is working. In the next episode, we're going to take the direct opposite. What if you oversell? What is starting to break first, and what can you start to do to overcome the out of stock, the dreaded out of stock on the website that really turns people off?
Yep.
See you in the next one.